So this is the oil return fitting that I had ordered for the oil pan. This one's a real simple design. Just drill a hole, and then it comes with these two washers with the seal in the center. You just sandwich between the oil pan and you just tighten it up with the nut right here. And I was checking it out. Like, I wanted to put it right here between these two holes for the oil pan bolts, somewhere right there, without hitting the top or anything. But there's these two little spot welds right there and another two over here. So those are for the baffle on the inside of the pan. So looking at it from the inside, here's the two holes. I could put it somewhere right there. If I could get that bolt, I mean the drill the hole just centered right there, where this one doesn't interfere with the washers or anything like that, that'd be good. And I still have plenty of clearance to tighten up the pan bolts. If not, another thing I could do is just get the grinder with the flap disc or with the cutting wheel or something, and just try to trim this off, make it level. That way when I put these washers, it doesn't interfere anything, like it doesn't sit on top of that little thing, and that way I can get a good seal. But I think if I could drill a hole right there, I think that should be good. Just mark the little pinhole in the center. I think that looks good. I think that should be good. Alright, I think that should be good. There's still a little bit of filing to do, but I prefer just, making the hole a little bit bigger than, being too big and then the little seals and the washers be useless. So I think that's good right there. Let's get this thing. Oh look, I need to clean this out. These are sharp metals. This side is actually clean. So there's the crankcase. Right now I'm just gonna finish cleaning off all the silicone around the edge, and I'm gonna use some of this Mega Gray. This is OEM import gasket maker. This one Joe brought it over. Here's the oil I took out of the car. It's just a kitchen pot, but this is all the oil that the engine had, so it's not a whole lot. Check that out. It's about 3/4, about an inch or so. So this car only uses about 3 quarts of oil max, and I think that's too much, but 3 quarts of oil. So with this turbo, I'm probably gonna add like another 1/2 quart. I'll check it just to make sure I have enough oil in there. Alright, so the oil pan is fully bolted up. Now over here on top, from the last video, I had put this turbo the other way around, the compressor side to This side, the only thing, I got the wastegate. I got the wastegate installed, and it was pointing directly to the compressor side, the cold side. So I loosened up all the bolts, turned it around, and now it's good. I even put the small radiator back right here. It's not even bolted up, but just to see how much clearance I had. I think I can bring the radiator just a little bit forward by adjusting these or modifying these a little bit. I'm gonna take this off right now, or I'll take it off right now. But anyways, it's not fully tightened. These either. I think it only has one of them tightened up. So the other ones are over here. I'm gonna tighten this up. Another thing, the oil feed line. Now that the turbo is clogged, it actually brought it up a few inches. So now this oil feed line I can't use, because once I put it right there, let's just tighten one or two turns. Once I put it right there, now it's like really high. It's just pointing straight up. So for this, I also bought another oil feed line, which I'll replace this one right now. Let me just go ahead and tighten these up first, and right now we'll come back to the feed line. Alright, I got the bolts for the turbo already tightened. This one is still not like clogged. It's still not tightened right here. It's still loose because of the feed line still. So I took off the feed line that was already installed, just to show you guys the difference. So, you know, the one I had was just straight, so it was pointing straight up to the hood. So I got a 90 bend right here, and they both got the same ends over here on this side. So these are gonna connect on the back of the engine on the T-fitting. Oops, on the T-fitting right there. So one of them is straight to the block, and then I got the oil pressure switch right there. And then that plug, later I'm gonna come back and install a oil pressure gauge, and then to the top, that's gonna be for the feed. So let me just go ahead and install this one over there at the T. And this, I think it's a 14. So go ahead and get that installed over there, and then we'll come back over here. So I installed the oil feed. Here's that 90 bend right here to the top. Really nice and clean. It goes down to the bottom, and I changed up the plugs right here. So I put it pointing straight back, because it was just a little bit long, so I ran it through the back of the engine all the way, and then I put the plug on top. So the oil feed is done. I just need to tighten up the wastegate. It doesn't have the gasket or the O-ring for, you know, the one that seals right there, the wastegate. Right now I'll install that. I also need to tighten this, but before I do, the oil return hose. So I had already installed this fitting right here. Everything went in pretty well, pretty good. So this one's going to be the one straight underneath the turbo. So I just need to cut this to length, and then put the other fitting that goes onto the right here, the oil return. So I just need to go ahead and install this on top. Alright, so I connected the return hose right there on the turbo, just so I could, you know, measure how much I need. I'm gonna either mark it, put a piece of tape or something so I can cut it, and then I'll go ahead and install it, you know, make the whole hose with this fitting. That way that part is done. See, the hose is nylon braided, but from the inside it still has the steel braids. Alright, so here's the piece of hose that I just made with both of the fittings all the way in. So this one's going to go on the turbo side and this one's on the oil pan. So made just to size. So let's go ahead and test fit it. Alright, excuse the fan noise. So right there it's connected on the turbo. Check this out. Perfect size. Alright, I took off the wastegate since it was already loose. So here's a box that it came in. It came with two springs, I think a 7 and 13, which added up to 20 pounds. But I took off the other spring. This is the short one. I think I left the big one, which is 7 pounds. I left a 7-pound spring. Right now there's no piping, nothing at all connected, but it's just the oil feed and return, and it's already clocked, so it's tight already. Check out this oil return line. There's the feed, and it goes straight down, straight into the pan. Very, very nice. So anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and put, it's one of these, do I need it? This is a spacer. It comes with another spacer over here. I think one of them is for the downpipe. So it comes with two spacers and two gaskets. Go ahead and test fit it. Maybe I'll put one gasket, one spacer just in case. And that means I'm gonna need two gaskets, right? Nope. Alright, so I'm just gonna put one gasket, and then the wastegate, and then the bolts. Those are the long bolts in case I'm going to add some spacers or for the downpipe or whatever. But these are the shorter ones that just go from the wastegate connected onto the manifold. So I'm going to use this one, and I'm going to tighten everything. Like I said, we're not really using the wastegate right now. It's just to cover up the plug right there. Alright, I'm taking this back off. You know what I forgot? And I just showed it to you guys. The little O-ring that goes on the bottom of the wastegate. Like I said, it's just for looks right now because I don't have any piping connected. But it is still going to be leaking exhaust through there. So might as well just install it right now. Let's see, so that means this one goes right here on the wastegate. So does that mean, let's see. Yeah, I'm gonna put this gasket. If I'm doing this wrong, let me know in the comments before I actually, start putting the pipes and making whatever type of boost or exhaust leaks or whatever. Just let me know, guys. Like I said, this was a trial and error for me. I've never played around with turbos or anything like that, but it was something that I've always been wanting to play with, like to experiment. So this is the perfect car for it, since I'm not using it at the moment, but it is such a fun car to drive. It's a 4-cylinder, so these came around with 90 horsepower straight from the factory. This one doesn't have a power steering. I mean, it barely came with AC, but it gave out, like the clutches gave out. So instead of buying an AC compressor, I decided to buy a little turbo and manifold wastegate. So that should be good for now. Oops. Alright, so the wastegate is installed. I'm gonna get all this stuff off of here. I have the spring, the spacers, another gasket, more hardware for the vacuum lines. We're on this side. The vacuum lines, I don't know which. There's the top one and the bottom one. So one of them is gonna go here to the turbo side. Why is this so dirty? Let me clean this real quick. So one of them is gonna go right here. I know. I don't know if it creates vacuum or boost or anything, but all right. So got a battery. Need to check if that still works. Get all this stuff. All right, oil. First things first, oil. I already tightened the drain plug on the bottom. Return line is tightened. This one's tightened. It's clocked. Wastegate, it's already assembled. The back, everything's good. Everything's good. Anything else? I don't think so, hopefully. So let's just go ahead and add some fresh oil. So it's getting pretty cloudy and I just heard some thunders right now. So I'm gonna try to do this as fast as I can. That way I can start the car. Yeah, look at that valve cover, so red. That's a Rust-Oleum spray can. Alright, so let me go ahead and start getting things down, lowering the car. There shouldn't be any leaks. I tightened everything. So right now we'll start it and we'll check for leaks. Alright guys, I got the keys. I already lowered the car. Everything looks good. Before I move it, I need to tie up that catalyst up, the exhaust. I already filled it with oil. I still haven't cranked it up, but right now it's just to that line right there. So once it circulates and warms up, I'll turn it off, recheck the oil, and I'll fill it off, like I'll top it off. I've got the keys, so let me go ahead and start it, see what she's gonna do. I haven't taken care of the belt, dry belt, squeaky, so if it starts screeching, it's the belt. So let's go ahead and check this. Alright. She's got battery. Like I was gonna do something like, oh. Alright. Before I lose these. Alright, it sounded good. The LabRat has a turbo. And now I'll move this Volkswagen and I'll take out the Mitsubishi out. She's sounding good. I know it has oil, but I already tested the oil pressure. So let me just go ahead and move the car real. I'm gonna go ahead and turn it off. Just let the oil flow all the way back down to the pan. That way, this is some of the paint. First time starting it. Maybe some of the oils in my hands just burning off. But yeah, I'm gonna let the oil just go all the way down to the pan. I'll check the oil, top it off. In the meantime, I'm gonna move the Volkswagen out of the way, and yep, it's cloudy. It's a nice day, but I'm hella sweaty. You can see my shirt, it's sweaty as hell. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and move the Jetta. Where did I leave the keys? It's not hitting. I just can't get a good picture of it. Alright, I don't like when it looks all foggy like that. There you go. Mind the fingers. Alright, so it was a mud, it was stuck on mud. Alright, here she is. This is my LabRat. So yeah, I still need to air up the tire just a little bit. It's such a nice day. I feel just a little bit of drizzle coming on, but it's very nice. It's still a little bit humid, but it's, you know, there's some fresh air. Any of you who's watching, you guys remember what kind of paint this is? She needs a wash, like a bath. Oh, it's drizzling. But anyways, yeah, she needs a bath. Been sitting for a whole year out in direct sunlight. It wasn't until, like, I don't know, maybe a month ago that I put her under the shed. That way I could start working on the turbo install. We'll get the downpipe and all that like later on. For right now, I just wanted to install the turbo with the oil, feed, and the return. Oh yeah, I drove it out of the shed with that catalyst under there. I'm also missing the bumper lip, the bottom lip that goes right there. I lost it, so I'll get a replacement. It's from 96 to 2000 Honda Civic. fits there. This is a Mitsubishi though, but the bumper shape is exactly the same. So one of those Civic lips fits here. I'll get that later on. But for right now, I'm gonna go ahead and take this over to the garage in town. Just leave it over there for now. That way it's not, you know, like taking up space here. It's at a cleaner environment over there in the garage. I'll keep it inside. Once I get, you know, like more money for the intercooler pipings, the intercooler, I still need the blow-off valve. And I think that's pretty much it. Like, so it could direct the air into the throttle body, like just the piping, intercooler, and the blow-off valve. But I'll get those later on. So for now, let's go ahead and wrap this up, take it over to the garage. Got a bit of steering wheel play. Neutral. I wonder how it sounds outside. still on. The garage. All right, we got the juke in here. Yikes. All right, should fit in here. Tiny thing. All right, let's just drop it in here. Oh, damn. That's a huge, what, bead or fly? I don't know. That's just so big. All right, so. Just gotta put this in here first. All right, let's bring the car. Alright guys, so the Mitsubishi's in here. I took off the front bumper before I pulled the car in here. Something hit right here in the middle. I'm not sure what it was, but I'm assuming it was that exhaust catalyst or whatever. So, yep. Oh, look at that. This is the hot spot right here since the... Let's go ahead and open the hood real quick. Leave it open. Okay. So, all right, there we go. Right here, the hot side. I need a dump pipe at least, so the hot won't stay like right here, or pointing directly at the wastegate. Yeah, this is hot, but oh yeah, just gonna leave this car right here for now. And we'll come back to it. You guys are already seeing the wired garage. We still don't have the electricity. I think I mentioned it was like $2,400 just for the wiring. But before they can actually connect the electricity, we had to put water supply, and that's 800 bucks. And then call the electric company so they can come and wire the rest. So that's gonna be it for now. I'm gonna go ahead and go eat some lunch with the wife and the kids. We'll come back to this car, definitely. It's already a work in progress. I'm really liking the way everything is coming out. Just gotta get some more parts whenever there's some extra money available. And yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate you guys, you know, just leaving your comments, leaving a like, supporting the channel. So I hope to see you guys on my next video. Peace out.